Hey you guys, happy Friday. I hope you guys had an amazing week. If you guys are watching the replay on Facebook Live, always let me know in the comments with hashtag replay. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe right here with this button and give me a thumbs up if you guys find any sort of value in this video. Now today I'm going to be walking you through my own LinkedIn profile so you guys can learn how to build a standout LinkedIn profile. Now this whole live stream is going to be broken down into 3 sections. In case you're wondering, you're like, okay, Kylie, when is this ever going to end? Because I'm going to go through every single detail. And this is so important for your success on LinkedIn because just posting content, great, valuable content isn't enough. Because if you don't take the time to build out your profile, what's going to happen is when you start networking on LinkedIn, the first thing people do, you probably do this too, is that they click on your name, go to your profile, and if it's incomplete, it's not that that person isn't going to follow you because there's potential, but you'll increase the chance of people following you. But not only that, start to build the know, like, and trust. Because if there's 3 things I want you to take away from this live stream today, it's this: SEO, value, and storytelling. Okay, I want you to write those 3 down and also keep them in mind as I'm going through my LinkedIn profile. Because remember, the profile builds the know, like, and trust, which is why we need, and it also is a representation of ourselves and our brand online, which is why we need to take max an hour. If you actually go through all of the steps that I tell you, this should take you no longer than an hour to complete. And that hour is going to pay off dividends and gonna literally 10x the leads that you get in your business, because people are going to come to your profile and that's where they start learning about you. Okay. It's very rare that when people see your name in a comment on somebody else's feed that they're going to be like, oh, Kylie Francis, let me go check her out check her out on Instagram. No, the first thing you do when you are enticed by somebody else's comment is you click on the profile. Take into your profile, they want to learn more about you, okay? So that's why the LinkedIn profile is so important. And I say this in such detail because I feel like this is the part that everybody skips, right? Everyone wants all of the followers on LinkedIn. They want, all of the engagement, all of the comments on their content, whatever, but they don't build out their profile. And that's the whole point, because what the profile hosts is a bio about yourself, your previous work experience. It lets other people know without asking you what you do, okay? So like I said, I have my laptop right here and I have my LinkedIn profile up, and we're going to talk about the ways, I'm literally going to go through step by step of how to build a successful LinkedIn profile. So now I think I just crossed 14,000 followers on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is getting a lot of engagement lately. So I feel like I did this right, and I'm not saying it's perfect. And if you guys ever have any tips in the comments, always let us know. If I skip something, let us know. If you guys have this expert secret that we know nothing about, let us know in the comments, because the whole point of me coming on live is to answer your questions. So if you're watching on YouTube, watching the Facebook replay, watching live, never hesitate to ask me questions. That's why I come on live streams, and that's why I post it on YouTube. So let's get started. So the first part of the LinkedIn profile is this. It's your picture, your cover photo. Oh, are you serious? That's what happens during a live stream. Come on. Okay. So it's the picture, your cover photo, your title, and then the beginning of your about section. So this section is very important. One of my biggest pet peeves I see on LinkedIn, I want to say about 50% of LinkedIn members do not have a profile picture. And I know why they don't have a profile picture is because there is this stigma around LinkedIn where you need to have this corporate headshot. You need to go into Walgreens. You need to go into JCPenney, CVS. None of the international people are going to know what I'm talking about. Go in your local drugstore to get this headshot of you in a tuxedo or whatever, to smile for the camera, to upload it onto LinkedIn. And that is simply not true. Okay. My LinkedIn profile picture is a selfie, took it on my phone, got my other phone right here because I was going to use this, but it wasn't loading correctly. Took it on my phone. I think I actually took it on this phone. Anyways, you can take a selfie. Just make sure. I also want to talk about profile picture tips. because I've seen selfies that are not appropriate for LinkedIn, and that's also an issue. So tips on taking your own picture. Get in lighting. Don't do it in the back corner of your basement. You know, don't take a picture where it's like half of your face or like it's you and your dog or whatever. Even though that's cute, save that for Facebook, okay? Save that for Instagram. This is LinkedIn. This is business. People want to take you professionally, and the only way you're going to be taken professionally is if you have a picture that's professional. It does not, you don't have to look or be dressed like a professional, but don't have your like hoo-ha's hanging out or whatever, because I've also seen that lately on LinkedIn is we see some of the Instagram influencers trickling in on the LinkedIn, and then the same people wonder why they're getting hit on by Tinder Timmy in the DMs, right? And it's because you're setting yourself up for that. So if you want to be taken seriously on LinkedIn, you need to make sure that your profile is written and you're presenting yourself professionally on the platform. Now, I'm not talking about you need to pass like, you know, college physics in order to start posting on LinkedIn, because that's not true. All you need to do is just keep in the back of your mind that you want to come across like a normal person, right? So get in that lighting, get in good lighting, smile, take the selfie yourself. And that should be the first thing that you focus on. If you don't have a profile picture, you absolutely must get a profile picture up immediately. Because think about how you feel when someone messages you on LinkedIn and they have that like gray picture with the outline of the man, and you're just kind of like, who is this person? Like, this is like, that's what I'm always like, why does this person not have a picture? Like, get a picture, because that grows the know, like, and trust, okay? Put a face to the name. You need the picture. You can take it on your iPhone. You don't need to go get it professionally done, okay? So also take in mind that it should just be of your face, smiling, whatever, because of the examples that I said previously. Now, the second tip that I have for you guys is the cover photo. This is the second thing people see when they go on your LinkedIn profile. Now, this is why I didn't use my phone for this live stream, is because when I this would only happen to me, right? Right before I pressed start on this live stream, I loaded my LinkedIn, and maybe it loaded on LinkedIn so I could show you guys the example. This is like the default. Can you guys see that? It's the default blue star constellation thing in the background, okay? That tells me nothing about your business, all right? So if you have that as your cover photo, or if you have a sunset, or if you have like, I don't even know, something so irrelevant to your business, it's just, I look at the cover photo as a chance to have a free billboard to tell people who you are and what you do, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys my cover photo, not to copy me, but to show you what you can include in yours, because I'm not saying that my cover photo is perfect. I'm not saying, you know, do this, this, and this. I'm just giving you some inspiration, okay? So when I have my cover photo here, I have my website, I have how I help people, and I also have where I've been featured in publications and stages that I've spoken on for social media marketing education. So my website is important because that's where people can learn more about me. This is the start of the funnel. That's another thing I want you guys to take note of and write down. Social media is the start of the funnel. It's where people grow the know, like, and trust factor daily. So when they're comfortable enough to reach out to you, guess where they go? They go to your website, okay? Or they go to the landing page, to your product. Wherever they feel comfortable, it doesn't happen immediately, okay? For some people it does, for the majority of other people it does not. So always remember that social media and posting on social media is the start of your funnel. It's the top, and then it goes down, and then you have the customer, okay? So when it comes to your cover photo, a couple tips that I have for you is think of it as a billboard for your business. If you had money to spend, let's just say you're driving down Beverly Hills and there's a contest where it's like, you get a chance to win a billboard for your business. You enter. Couple weeks later, you win. What would you write on that billboard? Okay. Would you put your website? Would you put your company's address? You know, would you put, like, how would you position yourself as an expert? That's what you need to include on your cover photo. I put places that I've been publications that I've been featured in, because it shows my expert credibility. Okay. I put that I was featured in Thrive Global, Forbes, Gusto.com. I spoke at LeadsCon. I spoke at DigimarCon. I was featured in LinkedIn. I have a weekly radio show on moneytalk1010.com. It airs every Tuesday live at 10:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll leave that link below in the description and on Facebook Live in the comments. So the reason why you want to put this here, you don't have to write that out, but if you just put the little logo, people know what that means. Okay, it's a subconscious thing where it's like, oh, I see that logo. That means that Kylie has some sort of level where I can believe what she says, okay, before they even see any part of your content. So that's very powerful. If you've been featured anywhere that other people know of, definitely include that in your cover photo, because like I said, this is a billboard for your business. So the third part that I have in my cover photo is the I help statement. Okay, this is very important and I want you guys to write this down. I talk about this in my other trainings as well. What is the I help statement? So remember when I said that social media is the start to our funnel? LinkedIn is the start, our profile is the start to our funnel. So when people come on social media, they follow you because you hopefully provide value to help them in what they need help with. Okay, social media is not about us. It's about our ideal clients, right? Which is why I preach all of the time in my content, stop making posts about yourself. Because people, quite frankly, don't care about you unless you're Kim Kardashian, you're Paris Hilton, you know, you're already that established celebrity, but the majority of us are not. So we stand out by providing value with our expertise and experience to people on social media. So the I help statement is this: I help X do, be, become Y, Z. And why an I help statement is so powerful, it's because you are telling them without having them ask you how you help them accomplish their goals. Okay? So my I help statement on my LinkedIn cover photo is, it's a little simplified. I don't say I help. I say, here to teach you how to make social media simple and profitable for your business. That's what you can expect when you follow my profile. Okay. So if you don't have that statement, you don't need to have it in your cover photo, but you need to have it somewhere trickled in your bio. So another popular place, and this is what I'm going to get to next, which is you have your name, but there's also, it's like a mini bio under your name that you can see on other people's profiles. You can also have that there. That's a very powerful place to put it, but I'll get to that in a second. I want to finish the cover photo first. An I help statement, just have that somewhere in your profile, because remember, social media is for them. We use it, but we use it to help them because that's how they become attracted to us. Okay, if this is making sense, let me know in the comments. Lisa says awesome and exactly. Okay, awesome. I'm glad this is making sense. If you're loving this on YouTube right now, I would love if you gave me a thumbs up and let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments if you guys have any questions on YouTube. So that's pretty much the gist of the cover photo. Like I said, the biggest key here is think of it as an online billboard for your business, okay? Take off the constellation thing like I showed you earlier on my phone. Take off the sunset, because you're just wasting space, okay? If anything, have your website on there and tell people how you help them. That's what's gonna allow people to follow you. So let's get down to it. The second part that I was talking about was this part. So I wanna mention one thing about the name. So you'll see on LinkedIn that people will add emojis to their name. I currently don't have any, and that's not for any rhyme or reason. It's just I haven't done it yet, and I don't know if I will, but it's why it's powerful is because when people tag you on their profile, your name is gonna stick out because that emoji is attached to the front, middle, or end of your name. So if you have been using LinkedIn, you'll see this a lot. And it's kind of just a marketing strategy for them to stand out when they're tagged on other people's profiles. I think it's awesome. I have nothing against it just because I don't have it next to my name. I just, quite frankly, didn't get to there yet. So do I recommend the emoji in the name? If you feel called to add one, go for it. If you don't, you don't have to, okay? So those are my thoughts on adding the emoji next to your name, but it does, if people mass tag you, which I absolutely hate that strategy, but let's just hypothetically say if somebody does, your name is gonna stick out because people look at the emoji and all of the other words, okay? Does that make sense to you guys? So let's get to this mini bio part. Now in this section, goes back to what I said in the beginning of the video. There were 3 words that I wanted you guys to take note of: value, SEO, and storytelling, okay? So the value is up here, okay, in the cover photo. This part underneath your name, I want you guys to think of SEO, okay? So what is SEO? SEO is search engine optimization. Now, I don't want to lose you guys there, so wave your hands if you're still like not, have like the gaze over your eyes, okay? What search engine optimization is when somebody types in social media marketing in the search bar and they are yet to be connected or follow me on LinkedIn, I have a chance, because I'm sure there's other people that have social media there, to pop up in the search, especially if I start utilizing LinkedIn every single day. When I start getting engagement on my profile is gonna pop up in the search, okay? So it's so super important that in this part and trickled throughout your whole profile that you have keywords, okay? Keywords related to your niche. So I don't want you to have like, Kylie Francis, I love swimming and I swam competitively in college, right? Because I'm not like, even though I was a swimmer, that has nothing to do with my social media consulting business, okay? So I want you to keep that in mind, that this part is very, very powerful, because remember, when you go and leave comments, I'm actually gonna try to pull one of my posts that I posted today. When you leave comments on LinkedIn, on your posts or other people's posts, what people see is your profile picture, your name, and then that little title thing where I'm pretty sure you get around 120 characters for, okay? So why that's powerful, yes, I can show you guys right here. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to, you guys can see Florida in the background, but I don't know if you guys can even see that, but see like how it's like the black, and I look like a creep looking at the side there. You guys get my drift if you use LinkedIn. This is my first time doing the computer thing, and it's like, that was very weird. So you have the name, and then you have the little gray part that explains who this person is. This is one of my favorite parts of LinkedIn, because if you go on Instagram and Facebook, if someone comments on Instagram and Facebook, the only way you know if they're like kind of sort of legit or not is if they have the blue check mark, right? Which doesn't even really tell you anything. You just have the blue check mark. Like, people can buy that on Instagram and Facebook. So when I see that, I'm just kind of like, okay, but who are you? Like, I actually have to click on your profile, and then I do it all uncertain, okay? But when you start adding commenting into your marketing strategy on LinkedIn, and you fill out, especially the first, I want to say 30 characters. I don't know all of the numbers nitty gritty, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, the amount of characters, but people see the first amount. I think you're allotted 120 characters throughout your whole title, but when you comment on other people's profiles, they can see like the first 30 is what I'm gonna guess. It's something around there, okay? And why this is so important that you use SEO, so you use the keywords there, but also are right to the point about what you do. When you leave your value-based comments on LinkedIn, people are gonna see that, like, they can almost like justify in their own mind that you know what you're talking about because you're telling them who you are and what you do, okay? So this goes back to when I had said, this is another great place to add the I help statement, because when you add the I help statement, I help X, do B, become Y, and Z, people are no longer guessing. So I help statements are very powerful if you're in one of those niches where the regular person would never be able to comprehend what you were saying. Like if you were like, I do, like Albert Einstein, and you're just like, what? Instead of using that, you can add that to the back end of your title. But in the beginning, you can say, I help blank do become blank. Okay. So that just helps people understand what you do more, because remember, when we post content on social media, we don't want to be Albert Einstein. We can be when we start helping other people get the results that they want. But when it comes to our message and our marketing, we need to simplify that as much as possible so people can understand that we have the solution to their problem. Just because, and like school teaches us this, which is horrible. Like this took me so long to understand and also unlearn. School teaches us that, okay, you go from algebra or pre-algebra to algebra to calculus to this to that. And then it's like, okay, you become so smart in this one subject, but all of the people on social media are still like learning 1 + 1 = 2, right? So you can't talk in this language because the people over here want to be where you're at, but they don't understand it yet because they're still here. Okay. So you have to learn when you're teaching on social media to break it down as much as you can, break it down more. I'm even trying on this live stream. Like I need to I'm always thinking 24/7, how can I make this sound simple? Okay. So back to your title, you want to make sure you're saying what you do and utilize all of the characters for the sheer fact of what I've already said. Keywords, it's search related on LinkedIn. Okay. If you have the space, use it all. All right. So I have personally on my LinkedIn profile, social media marketing consultant to CEOs and entrepreneurs, influencer to 150,000, which I need to update. But that shows, again, the credibility that I have, and people can start, painting this picture in their head who I am and like how I can help them. And I also have my Post to Profit courses, and then I'm a speaker. So it shows the array of how I can help people. And then if people, once they get to my bio, can learn more about me and my story. So underneath this part, it says providing services for, and I have marketing consulting. I actually need to spend more time on my profile and add a little bit more of the services that I provide. But that's another SEO thing that you need to add, because when people look specifically for these jobs, they're typing in marketing consulting, or they're given that option. I think that was an option LinkedIn gave me, and they're like, do you provide services for this type of job? And I said, yes. So you always want to make sure that whenever there's a section on your LinkedIn profile, and I'm pretty sure LinkedIn tells you if you have an all-star profile or not. So the more beef you put in, the better off you are in the future. Okay. I don't want you thinking of a section and being like, that doesn't really matter. It doesn't make sense, because people will stumble across you for any rhyme or reason. I had someone come to my LinkedIn profile because they saw one of my YouTube videos, and they're like, yeah, I saw like the bug on your dashboard. And I'm like, great. Out of everything you learned, like you saw a bug on my dashboard, but it's going to be a potential client for me. So that's why social media is so important for your business, because you quite literally never know why people are going to stumble across your profile, what's going to captivate them, and how they're going to seek you out for something else. Okay. Which is why it's also so important not to be perfect when you start on social media. Like I already messed up once now. No one cares. Provide value. That's what they seek for. Okay. So now let's go to the about section. So the about section on the LinkedIn profile has about, I want to say 5,000 characters. If I had to guess, like I said, I should have probably written all these down, but I don't write notes on my live stream. So I'm just kind of going off memory or what I've seen like around town, right? So back to the 3 keywords that I gave you: value, SEO, and storytelling. Okay. This part is all 3 combined. Now, what a lot of people do with their about section is that they get all like, puffed out chests, like their heads blown up, because they're like, wow, this is my moment for me to brag about myself. Like I'm going to put, I won every award all the way back to the middle school spelling bee. Okay. They want to put every single award in their about section, pretty much because I think it goes back to what people think LinkedIn as, which is kind of like for job searching, they want to like stand out, XYZ, 1, 2, 3. When in reality, with your LinkedIn bio, you're going to stand out more when you tell a story. Okay, that's so super important. I want you guys to write that down. Telling a story on your LinkedIn profile. Now you're probably like, well, Kylie, how do I know what story to tell? So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, I find that the best story you can tell is how you got started in your business, because that shows that it makes you almost real again. Because the problem is if you go and tell a story about like, yeah, this is how we just won that $2 million client, like, this is why I do what I do, you're gonna seem kind of untouchable to the people that might reach out to help for you. Now, that doesn't lessen that you didn't do something or whatever. We're just gonna talk about that later. We're gonna put all the accomplishments later when we talk about, the business that you are currently in. I'm blanking on your experience. So there's an experience section where you put your job that you're currently at, whether that be your business or the job that you work for, and then all the accomplishments are going to go in that section. So think about the bio. 1, use all 5,000 characters if you can. Why? Because of, like I've said 80 million times already, search engine optimization, the keywords. Okay, this is how your profile is going to be more searchable. It's just going to help if you trickle your niche keywords. So for me, social media marketing, consulting, all of those words, I want to trickle throughout my profile. So I want you to really take note of that. Like if you haven't like starred that 80,000 times, that is very important, because that's going to help you passively get people seeing your profile, because there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to see maybe your comments on other people's posts, but they're going to end up searching for, okay, I'm looking for a social media marketing consultant. Okay, I want to network with other social media people. Okay, like who else is interested in American Bulldog Rescue? Like you never know what people are searching for. And the large majority of time, people will stumble across your profile because they were searching for something else. This happened to me twice yesterday, and I'll tell you guys both of the things. So the first one, the guy was like, oh, I was searching on LinkedIn and I saw that you were from Philly, and then I saw that you were in social media. So it was like social media wasn't even like the thing, which is what he ended up wanting to get on a call with me for. He saw that I was local to Philadelphia. Okay, why is that big? Because Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, United States, if you're watching internationally, is a very tight-knit city. Okay, go Birds, right? So I think I skipped over that section actually. So you can see right under the title, there's a part where it says, it says 500 plus connections, because I obviously have more than that. I have 14,000 followers, and I don't know how many connections I have, but it probably like 3,000 or something like that. But Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, make sure you put where you're from. That's very important, and I skipped that, so I'm sorry. So he was like, oh, I see you're from Philly, me too. Okay, it's that relatability content. Like I said earlier, it's the me too. Okay, the second person, which I actually had to double check that I actually had this in my profile, because I totally forgot that I even wrote this in my profile. He was like, oh, I saw that you're you were in real estate and are interested in real estate. I'd like to connect with you. And even though I am in multifamily real estate now, before, one of my jobs that I had in college throughout the summer was to be an executive assistant to a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar real estate firm. So when I scrolled down my profile, it's literally in my jobs. Okay, so that's my job now. And so I started my business when I was in college, right? So my executive assistant to CEO, it doesn't even say real estate until this little part here. So that guy was specifically talking about this previous job that I had before. So that means he scrolled through all of this. Okay, and I'll get to all the links here in a second to go right there. And I'm like, That's crazy to me. Like, is that like crazy to anybody else watching? If you guys are watching, let me know in the comments, because I just find that so wild. And that's why building out the whole profile is so important, because you, like I said, you never know what is going to attract people to you, because people buy off of emotion and are attracted to you through relatability. Then they justify with logic. Okay. So that emotional connection needs to be built first. And that's usually done through inspirational, transformational, educational type content, okay? And I go through, I should have said this earlier, I forgot that I didn't even say this yet. I go through all of that in the 4 types of comment free training. I have that linked on YouTube, and I'm gonna link it right up here. And I'm also gonna link that below in the comments on Facebook. So let's get back to it. The about section, not to go like all, nitty gritty on whatever, but just make sure that the first part, so I have mine in 3 sections. The first part is how my story got started. And if you guys are interested in my story, you can hop on over to my LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/Kylie Francis, and you can read my story right here, just for the sake of time, because I already know this is going to be a long live stream. So yeah, my story, and then I talk about like what I'm passionate about. I talk about what my agency does and what I do for other corporations and entrepreneurs. And this is also a really important part of the about section, is I tell people what I'm interested in, like what makes me a person. This goes back to storytelling, okay? In this section, I don't talk about like, I was featured here, there, and everywhere, and I like won this award, that award, blah, 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 because I do that all down here. There is enough room down here for you to do that. This section is about relatability with other people, okay? Telling people I was an Olympic trials level swimmer. Telling people I started Pinterest off chance as I was in college and we were on training trip, and my best friend came up to me and she was like, "Hey Kylie, you need to start Pinterest because I want another follower." And I was like, no, I'm already double majoring in business and apparel merchandising. And on top of that, I'm trying to like swim 40 hours a week as my full-time job. So the rest of my story, like I said, is on there, even though I'm already telling you my story anyway. But so I go from my story, how I grew my following online, not only just growing my following, but how I make profits off of my following online, which is super crucial to growing an online business. And then I talk about my agency. And then underneath that, when I'm not growing my business, this is what I'm doing. I'm surfing, I'm walking on the beach, I'm doing CrossFit, I'm doing all of these things, because remember, storytelling, relatability, storytelling, value, and SEO. Like I said earlier in this live stream, these are the 3 things that you must focus on with your LinkedIn profile. So then I have an arrow down and I was like, view my website and then get started in my courses, which I link in my featured section. Okay. Oh, I just hit myself. So I was like, you can visit my website, arrow down, featured section has all of my links. Okay. So these are the links to my YouTube videos, because remember, this is my website, YouTube video. I should actually probably rearrange these. I was kind of just uploading because I got lazy, but if you go over, okay, YouTube, okay. Now, YouTube trainings on LinkedIn. That's what I meant to say. YouTube, LinkedIn training, kind of like the one that I'm doing now. And this video is actually going to go in that section. So why am I putting my YouTube videos on my YouTube trainings that are webinars on my LinkedIn profile page? Because I am showcasing my expertise, okay? I am showcasing what I know. And people on LinkedIn want to learn more about LinkedIn. Now you're probably thinking, well, I'm not in social media. And it's like, you need to have videos there. You need to have something other than a direct sell. Like, I want you to get out of that sell mindset, okay? There is plenty of opportunity to sell, but they have to build up the know, like, and trust with you first, okay? So that's what a lot of people get wrong on social media. They're like, I want to start a business. I need an Instagram, which is the worst platform to start on in 2020. I need an Instagram. I'm going to sell post. These people don't even know who you are and what you do. And then all these people are like, well, why is no one buying my stuff? No one knows you because it takes time, okay? That's why I have these training videos here, okay? And I have my website there for the people that want to get in touch with me to set up a call if they want my services or if they want to purchase one of my Post to Profit digital courses, okay? But it's so important that you showcase people how to do something, okay? That part, the featured part with the links, and you can also add any link that you want. It doesn't have to be a YouTube video. It doesn't have to be your website. Anything that you have a link to that showcases something about what you do works. And if that is your Instagram, because I saw Kyle was on, he's a videographer. So if he, showcases his stuff on his Instagram feed, because he doesn't have a website yet, hypothetically speaking, he can direct people to his Instagram. Okay. So those are some things to keep in mind. It's like, yeah, you don't have, like, it's just one of those places. This is the part where you start showing off. Okay. The bio, you're telling, it's the relatability, the storytelling. Now we're getting to the part where we can start showing people how we're the best at what we do. Okay. So then it says your dashboard private to you. It just shows you who's viewed your profile, post views, search appearances. I feel like I'm losing my voice because I've been on this live stream for so long. So if you guys are loving this video, give me a like really quick and let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions. And the likes go for YouTube and Facebook. So I would be so appreciative if you could give me a like, because I always want to know if I should wave the flag and stop or keep going. So let me know in the comments. Okay, so let's get down to the activity. You see the amount of followers that people have, posts, whatever. Then we get to the experience. So this is what I was talking about before. When you want to talk about your I help statement, who you are, what you do, what your agency does, this is where you can brag, okay? This is where you can be like, okay, I'm the SHIT at this, I'm the SHIT at that. Don't want to curse because I guess YouTube doesn't like when you do that. So that's when you want to show off, okay? And people will scroll down to that part. So it's just kind of like with posting social media content, it's just relax for a second, okay? Relax on the selling. We'll get to that in a second, okay? So another question that I get a lot with the experience is people always want to know, well, what jobs do I put there? And which jobs do I keep out? Because everyone has those one-off jobs where you mowed the lawn in 5th grade and you're like, should I put that on my LinkedIn profile? I doubt someone has that on there unless they're actually a 5th grader and they're using LinkedIn. But my advice for the job section, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I firmly believe that the job section should be used again as a storytelling component. It should be used as a feature that showcases who you are to grow the know, like, and trust factor. Okay. So I want you guys to remove it as a judgment piece. And I want you to think of it and describe your job as to how it helped you grow as a person, not just with the data that you helped grow within that company and that position. Does that make sense? And the reason why I'm saying that is because I experienced this firsthand with the real estate position that I had. Even though I am back in real estate, I did real estate, I don't even know how many years ago that was. A while. It was 15 years ago, right? And someone connected with me because of that. Now, even though I forgot that I had that there and I am back in real estate, if I deleted that because I'm okay, real estate has nothing to do with social media marketing, even though every business needs social media marketing, so it kind of does. But if I deleted it because I looked at it so literally and I was oh, real estate, social media, I'm going to delete it. Or maybe if I'm just starting my profile and I'm I don't need to include that, I wouldn't have had that connection with a potential client. Is that making sense? Let me know in the comments if this is making sense. So the experience part is pretty much straightforward. I would keep it between 3 to 4 bullet points. There's no need. There's probably also a character limit that I don't even know what that is. But you don't want to overwhelm people. Leave some mystery around it. Just get the data points there, but also keep in that story like the storytelling with the data, and you'll be good to go with the experience part. Education. This is the second part where we're going to be bragging, okay? I know all of my academia people out there, they're like, well, when can we brag? This is the time to brag, okay? I'm bragging on here. I was like Chancellor's List student, NCAA Division I athlete. I was an Olympic trials qualifier. I got the Conference USA academic medal for 2 years. I did Toys for Tots. I did Swim Across America. So this is the part where you can brag and you can just do it in bullets. I love bullets on LinkedIn. Not for the bio, but for the experience section, which is your job section, and also the education section, because when you bullet, it makes it easier to read. So if you're just kind of like going through like this huge paragraph of all of your awards, people aren't really going to read it. But if one catches their eye, then they're more likely to go down the whole list. Does that make sense? So put your education there. Put, if you were in Greek life, I wasn't, but put things you don't think are related to business in that section, because like I said, back to storytelling value, and SEO, those are the three things that matter throughout this whole process. So this is a part of the storytelling. You don't have to only brag about the awards you won in school, but if you won any in sports, if you were in Greek life, if you did charitable events like I did, that's an amazing place to add that information. Underneath education, we have we're almost done, guys. So if you're still hanging in there, thanks for staying around. If you love this video, give me a like and subscribe right here on YouTube. So right here, we have the volunteer experience. So I love this part as well, because like I said, it's a relatability aspect. I can actually update this. So right now I have fostered American Bulldogs, which is what my family does. We actually rescue horses as well. And a participant in Swim Across America, which is what I did in college. So we would swim, I think it was, I don't know how many, this was literally so long ago, I have to like read my own description to see what it did. But essentially what it did was you raised money by swimming a certain amount of meters for Swim Across America. So it was like your own fundraising efforts, but you had to back that up. Like you would say like, okay, I'm going to swim 10,000 meters for $100. And they're like, okay, deal. And then like someone would write you a check for $100, but it would go to Swim Across America. So volunteer experience, skills and endorsements, SEO. I should have asked you guys, what are the 3 letters for skills and endorsements? Skills and endorsements equals SEO. I want you guys to write that down, okay? So how is it SEO? Because skills and endorsements are keywords, okay? If someone is looking for someone in social media, entrepreneurship, marketing, maybe a mentor in any of these 3, maybe they're looking for a job opening, maybe they want to hire you for a job, this helps the SEO on your profile to boost it up in the algorithm, especially if your profile starts becoming popular and gets more engagement. So add as many skills that are relevant to what you do. One thing that really annoys me about LinkedIn, and I had that video up here, the LinkedIn hashtags video, how to use LinkedIn hashtags, is when people ask me, Kylie, how many hashtags do I need to use? How many times do I need to post a day? Anything with a number, I'm like, you need to do, the posting a day should be at least once, but the hashtags, use ones that are relevant to the post. Worry less about the number and more about the relevancy and the value. Okay. Same goes with skills. Add skills that are relevant. Stop worrying about the number, start worrying about the relevancy. Okay. Because with search, if you put a skill is eating ice cream and you own a car dealership, like those two don't, because you're trying to get to like 50 skills. Let's just say someone told you need to use 50 and you're like, oh, I'm at 45. I need to think of 5 more. And you think of ice cream, nail polish, trees, like literally everything I see in front of me. That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense. So stop doing things for a number and start doing it for the relevancy. Underneath that is recommendation. I can't even talk. This has been so long. I'm waving up the flag. This is like 5 more minutes. Okay, guys? So underneath that is recommendations, and you can either ask for recommendations or you can get recommendations. This part is so powerful because this is a testimonial. Okay, think about it like on Facebook business page when people can write the recommendation on your Facebook business page. This is very similar. It's people on LinkedIn, and you can approve of the recommendations as well. So if you ask someone for a recommendation, like a previous client or a previous colleague, because that helps, whenever you have a third party recommending you, that's very, very, very powerful for your business. So it's nothing that needs to be rushed, especially if you're just starting your business or just starting at your profile. One is better than none, but if you don't have that section complete, that's something that's just going to naturally come over time. So it's not like, okay, you need this done today. It's just something just to keep in mind. Like if you worked with somebody in the past, you had a great, experience and result with them, positive results, ask them if they can write you a recommendation. And if you felt the same way about them, you can do like a swap for recommendations. But please be very ethical about this as well. Because I seen before, or there's something going around on Facebook groups where people are buying testimonials, which is just, people are going to find out about it, and that's going to come, karma is a real thing. Okay. So don't do that. Do it authentically, build your profile authentically by being a person of value with your experience and sharing your value. Okay. Do it right. This is the time to really, really, really hop on the LinkedIn train. LinkedIn right now is how Instagram was back in 2014. Okay. The Instagram train has left the station. The LinkedIn train has arrived. So definitely take the time to incorporate everything that I've said today, because this is the starting point of the LinkedIn success. And if you're kind of watching this video and you're like, okay, well, where do I go from here? I, build out my profile, but I don't know, how to create content, where to start, whatever. I have a whole LinkedIn marketing for beginners training, and I'm going to leave that up here on YouTube that you can watch. And I'll link it below in the comments on Facebook if you're watching on Facebook. So underneath that too, there's accomplishments. You can write like the languages that you speak in. Like I took 7 years of Spanish, so I have Spanish on there. I have 4 publications. So all the publications that I mentioned that I was featured in earlier, I have linked in this section. So they do have a section for publications. Link every single one that you can, because another thing too is like, I don't want you guys to feel like you're bragging at all, because you don't know what's going to entice people to click. Just because you put 10 publications doesn't mean they're going to click through every single one. They're going to go to the one that they want to read the most. Okay. So let's just say you have 1 and they're just kind of like, that doesn't really interest me. I don't feel like clicking on that. But you actually have 9 more. You just didn't want to post about it. That's on you. Okay. So if you have it, post it. Why not? That's the whole point. That's the reason why it's there, right? And then the last and final section, who's excited? I have no idea how long I've been on this live stream, but I have a feeling it's been a long time. I just looked at my phone. Last and final section is just the interest, and you want to just follow people, follow influencers on LinkedIn that you're interested in, because that pops up in that section. So yeah, literally, I just scrolled through the whole profile and that is the end. So like I said, this is something, if you actually sat down and took the time to complete this, this will only take you an hour to do. That's it. And like I said earlier in this live stream, do it now. Do it before you start, commenting on everybody's posts, because like I said, what happens is when you start networking with people on LinkedIn, they're going to your profile. So if you don't take the time to build out your profile, if you're just going to do it like halfway and just be like, I'll do it later, you're actually just doing all of this work for nothing, because people could be connecting with you, but they can't connect with you if you don't give them a reason to be connected to you. Okay. And what I mean by that is through the 3 words. Who knows them? Value, search, SEO, and storytelling. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up because this was a fairly long live stream. I didn't think it was going to take that long, but like I said, I always go on tangents. If you guys absolutely love this video, give me a like on YouTube, give me a like on Facebook. Let me know in the comments what you learned throughout this video. What was your favorite takeaway? What did I miss? If I missed something, let me know in the comments. If you're just kind of like, oh my God, you missed this most important thing, let us know. I think I went through the main gist of everything. That's why I wanted to have my laptop out so I could scroll through and not miss anything. So let me know what you think about this video in the comments. Let me know what you learned. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe right here with this button because I'm going to be coming out with way more LinkedIn live streams, not just LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. So if you have any questions related to social media marketing, always let me know in the comments because your question could quite literally and anonymously be the topic of my next live stream. So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and I will see you guys on the next live stream. Bye guys.